Okay, it's August 8th, 2015, and this is my second video showing how to use the Dexter 3D and newer boards. Okay, so the power connector is right here, and here's the power cable, so I'm just going to plug that in. And you can see that there's a power LED it's right here. See, that green one right there? That lights up when the power is on, and then you can see there's a flashing LED right here which lights up if the Dexter board is getting a video signal. So if these wires are plugged in properly and if the SD card is working properly, then you'll see this pulse light blinking, which if the pulse light's blinking, that's a good sign. Then there's all these other little LEDs around the board that show what the current Laserdisc player is, and it was set to this one up here, which is next to the thing that says PR8210. But then I pressed this mode button in the corner, and now it's down here on LDV1000. So to change the Laserdisc player type, there's this button called mode in the corner, and watch when I press it, it just changes the LED. Can you see it cycling? And next to the LED that's lit up is the player type. So you kind of need to know what the original Laserdisc player is that you're replacing, that you want Dexter to replace. I am working on some auto detection methods, but those aren't, at the time of this video, those aren't finished yet. So for now, some of the games will auto detect, like Firefox will auto detect, but Dragon's Lair currently doesn't auto detect. So for now, you do need to know which player you're trying to replace. So for example, Dragon's Lair I have it set to LDV1000. But some Dragon's Lairs might need to be pure 7820. Like Cliffhanger is going to be the PR8210 up here, and you'll notice that the LED is next to the interface. So for LDV1000 mode, this is the interface for the original player. Let me turn that button. It's the Centronics 24. So all of the Dragon's Lair players had these on the back. And this is the video output. Most of the Laserdisc players have one of these video outputs on them, so your Laserdisc game should have a cable that plugs into this. The one exception is the PR8210, which has a different type of connector, but I do have adapters for these, and if you're buying Dexter for like Cliffhanger, I should have included one of these adapters with your purchase, but if you need one I can send you one, that's not a big deal. And then this is the audio. The same type of connector that the original Laserdisc player had, so this is right and this is left. And then if you happen to, for example, if you had, I'm going to switch to like Firefox. If you have a Firefox, then this is the type of connector your Laserdisc player had. So your Laserdisc game should have that type of, should have a cable that plugs into this type of connector. Or if you're like Dragon's Lair 2, which is the LDP1450, then this again would be the type of connector. And then Cliffhanger is either this little remote control jack or this thing right next to it, which is actually an infrared remote control receiver, because some Cliffhangers send out a remote control signal over the air to control the game, so that's what this thing picks up. Or if it has a plug, it plugs into here. So there's basically three different types of connectors. There's either this one, or this one, and that's pretty much like almost all the Laserdisc games are going to use one of those types. There's also this diagnose button, so if I press it, the LED, let me turn this off. See, if I press diagnose, the LED turns on and on. When diagnose mode is on, what that's going to do is it's going to send a lot more information through from the Dexter board to the Raspberry Pi that'll show you what the game is sending to the Laserdisc player and what the Laserdisc player is sending back to the game. And when I say the Laserdisc player, I'm talking about the Dexter board. So the Dexter board is the Laserdisc player. So when diagnose mode is enabled, it's going to send a lot of debug information to the Raspberry Pi, which then can be sent over the internet to someone like me to help you remotely troubleshoot what's wrong with your game, or you can even remotely troubleshoot it yourself, and I'll show you how to do that in a video coming up. But diagnose mode is really cool. It's going to make the game go a little bit slower, so if you have diagnose mode enabled, the game will go a little bit choppier, so that's normal, that's nothing to be concerned about. But if you're having a problem with your game and you get someone like me to remotely troubleshoot it for you, you're going to want to have diagnose mode enabled, because that gives a lot more information. So that concludes this video. Next, I'm going to go out to my Dragon's Lair and show you how to plug the Dexter into the Dragon's Lair, and then show you how to hook up the Dexter Manager program to it so you can see what it's doing. It's really cool. So that'll be my next video, and I hope you enjoyed this one, and look for my next one. Okay, bye.